Here we go. There we go. So the topic right now is solving for y. If you notice that I have 6 different ways on how the problem will be asked during the STAAR test. Okay. So I highlighted those y. It means you're trying to figure out how to solve for y. Again, the strategy you're going to apply is the same strategy that I taught you during the class. Here we go. So let's start. So the first number here, okay, the first number. So it's 2x plus 3y equals 3. Okay. Now the strategy that I taught you last time is you make sure that whenever you see an equal sign like this, you put a parenthesis and subtract after the number or the term. Okay. And now you're going to copy this after the subtract. Okay, so the purpose of that is to get rid of this. We need to transfer this to this part here. Okay, now after I transfer that, I'm going to divide by 3 on all. Okay, now this is my y-intercept and this is my slope. So now y, okay, y equals, my slope is negative 2/3 x plus 1. So that's my, so how do I know it's plus 1? Because 3 divided by 3, it's equals to 1. And then this is my m. Okay. Now let's get it on. Let's go to the next problem here. Undo. Uh-oh. Okay, question number 2. Let's erase. Okay, let's erase. Question number 2. You're going to do the same thing, okay? Question number 2. So negative 2x minus y equals negative 3. Now it's the same thing. I saw a minus sign here, an equal sign. I'm going to put parentheses and minus after that. Now I'm going to copy this, move it here. It's minus 2x. So if you notice, I copied the sign. Okay, I didn't change anything. I copied the sign. So this is gone. Now after that is I'm going to divide by, well, if you notice, this is negative y. So this means this is a negative 1. Okay. Now, before I start everything, I need to identify first, well, this is my y-intercept, which is my b. So negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. And then my slope. If you notice, I have two signs here, negative and negative. So this turns to a positive. Now my slope, which is m, is going to be 2 over negative 1. So to write this equation is equals to y equals negative 2 over 1x plus 3. That's my linear equation for question number 2. Okay, now let's go on to question number 3. So in question number 3, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, the same steps. You just need to understand that these steps apply to all, okay? To all of solving for y problems. So let's start. This 9x plus 3y equals 3. Now, if you notice, it's the same steps I'm going to use. I saw an equal sign. After equal sign, I'll put a parenthesis and minus. Okay? And I'm going to copy this to here. 9x and close parenthesis. So this is gone. I'll divide everything by this number here. If you notice, I'll include the sign as positive 3. So this is my y-intercept. So b is the 3 divided by 3, it's 1. And then my slope, okay? So negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. So my linear equation is y equals negative 3x plus 1. Okay. Now, question number 4 is kind of different, no? It's kind of different. This time, the y is on the left side. So which is, looks like this. 3y minus 21 equals 12x. So the same steps. Our goal is to isolate y. So what I'm going to do is I saw an equal sign here. I'm going to put parentheses and minus after this term here. So this term is 12x. Earlier, it's a constant. It's a number. But right now, it's 12x. So what I'm going to do here is to isolate y, to leave the y alone. I need to move this first to the right side. So negative 21, I'm going to copy here negative 21. Close parentheses. So that's gone. And then I'll divide everything by this number, positive 3. So if you notice, it's my slope, 12 divided by 3, that's my slope. So which is 4. Okay, so my y equals 4x. And then negative and negative, that turns to a positive. So 21 divided by 3, it's 7 plus 7. So that's my equation of a line. Now let's look at the number 5. Okay, number 5. There we go. Number 5. So this is simpler than the first 4 problems that we did. This is just one step, okay? I'm still going to apply my strategy. If I see a parenthesis, I'll put, if I see an equal sign, I'll put a parenthesis, and I close it by parenthesis. I don't need to do the minus, it's already here. And then now I'm going to just to do is divide by positive 3. Again, it's positive 3 because there's no sign. So this is my slope. That's my b, my m is equals to 15 divided by 3. It's 5. Okay, so that's 5x. And then negative 12 divided by 3. It's negative 4 minus 4. So that's my equation of a line. Now the last problem here, which you might see also, okay, it's written differently. The y is on the right side, okay? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So 5x plus 10 equals 10 over y. So I'm going to do is the same thing. I saw an equal sign here. I'm going to put parentheses on both sides so I know that it's enclosed as a group. This time I'm going to divide by 10. So I'll divide everything by 10. So that's gone. So now this is your y-intercept. 10 divided by 10 is 1. And then this is your slope. So 5 over 10 or 1/2. So I'm going to write here y equals, I'll put the 1/2 x plus 1. So that's how you're going to solve this trying to solve for y. It's very important, especially the topics in future, like question number 7, system of equation. Okay. So this problem here, it's you need to apply one of this process to solve this problem. Okay. Now let's solve this problem. Here we go. Which system of equation has no solution? Okay, let's review. Okay, let's review. We talked about the parallel line and perpendicular line before. Parallel line, okay, uh, when their slope, the first slope is the same of the second slope, okay, but they are differ in y-intercept, differ in y-intercept, okay. So these will provide a, like, has no solution. Okay, here we go. Let's start the problem. Letter A. Let's start letter A. Here we go. I'm going to write, let's change color here. For letter A, I'm going to solve first. Uh, solve first this one here. So it disappears. So 3x minus 4y equals 1. So again, I see a equal sign. I'll put parenthesis minus. I'm going to copy this 3x close parenthesis divided by negative 4. Okay. Now, this is my slope divided by negative 4. That's negative 4. That's my slope. Y equals, let me write it here. Y equals 3 over 4x. And then this is my y-intercept, negative 1/4. Okay. That's for this. Okay. So let me write that here. Let me write it on top. So this is going to be y equals 3 over 4x minus 1/4. Now let's solve the second equation. Okay, let's solve the second equation. So the second equation is 12x minus 16y equals 4. The same thing I'm going to do is parentheses after the equal sign and minus. I'm going to copy this. That's 12x, close parentheses, divide by this number, negative 16. So now, this is going to be my slope, which is 12 over 16, or we can simplify, okay? Uh, negative 12 over 16, that's divisible by 4, no? So 12 by 4, it's 3. And then 16 divided by 4, it's 4. But since same sign, it's going to be positive 3/4. So my y equals positive 3/4 x. Okay, now let me find out this y-intercept. My y-intercept, so it's 4 over negative 16, or simplify that, it's 1 over 4. So it's negative 1 over 4. So this is negative 1 over 4. So you notice y equals 3 over 4 x minus 1 over 4. If you notice these two, letter A, they had the same line. Okay. Remember, I told you earlier, which of the system of equation has no solution? If they had the same slope but differ in y-intercept, it's no solution. So the graph of this is telling us that this is telling us the graph must be looks like a parallel line, okay, but differ in y-intercept. But this time, letter A, both of them are on the same line. Later on, I'm gonna show it to you on Desmos that they are on the same line. So A is not the answer. Again, A is not the answer. The reason is even though they are the same slope, but they have also the same y-intercept, so they are on the same line. This is infinite solution. Okay, let's do letter B. Letter B. Again, students, this is how important for you to understand why it's important to know how to solve for y, because things like this you might see in the test. Okay, now here we go. I have an equal sign here. I'll put a parenthesis and minus, and I'm going to copy this. 3x, close parenthesis, divided by negative 4. Okay, so my slope is 3/4. So y equals 3/4 x, and my y-intercept is 1/4. Negative 1/4. Okay, so that's my letter B. The first number there on top, letter B. Okay, let me write it here. Y equals 3/4 x minus 1/4. Now let's do the B, the second equation. Let me change the color here. Okay. Second equation. This one here. 3x plus 4y equals 1. The same thing. I see an equal sign. I'll put parenthesis minus 3x coming from here. Okay. And close that parenthesis divided by 4. So now my slope is y equals negative 3/4 x, and my y-intercept is positive 1/4. So this, if you notice that this has different sign. Okay, different sign. So this letter B is not an answer. So again, to have a system of equation with no solution, they should have the same slope. This one have different slope, different sign. Okay, so that's not the answer. Letter B is not the answer. Let's go on with letter C. Let's start with this. Okay, so 3x, undo. Where is that? Okay, so 3x minus 4y equals 1. Same thing, I have equal sign, parenthesis, minus 3x, close parenthesis, divide by negative 4. So that's what I got this number here. So this is 3/4. So y equals 3/4 x. This is negative 1/4. So that's letter C. So y equals 3/4 x minus 1/4. Let's see the next number here. The next number. 5, 5x plus 6y equals 2. Same thing. I saw a equal sign, parenthesis, minus. 5x, close parenthesis, divide by 6. So this is my slope. Okay, the slope is y equals negative 5 over 6x. And then my y-intercept is positive 2, 6, or 1/3. So this is not an answer. They should have the same slope. So they have different slope. Okay, so this is not the answer. Okay, let's try. Let's try letter D. Letter D. 3x minus 4y equals 1. Same steps, same strategy, parentheses, minus. I'm going to copy this. 3x, close parentheses, divide by negative 4. So this is my slope. Okay, I'm going to write there. Y equals, that's negative negative, is a positive, 3/4 x. And this is my y-intercept, 1/4. Okay. Let's change color so you know the difference. Okay. Purple. So 3x minus 4y equals 2. All right. Equal sign, parentheses, minus. Copy this, 3x, close parentheses, divide by negative 4. That's my y-intercept, that's my slope. So y equals 3/4 x, and then this is my fourths, okay? 2/4 or 1/2, okay? 2/4 or 1/2. So now we get the answer. Again, later on, I'm going to show you that this is using Desmos. They had the same slope, okay, but different y-intercept. Look at that. Okay, let's graph the green. Let's graph the green. Okay, draw the green first. The green. So negative zero point 0.4. This is 1. Let's put this as half. This is zero point 0.4. Okay. Rise by 3. 1, 2, 3. To the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first graph here, this graph, okay, that's the first graph. Okay, this is the y equals 3/4 x 1/4. Now let's draw the graph of the purple of this here, negative 1/2. Somewhere here, negative 1/2 because this has 1, the half of that. Okay, and then rise by 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere here. So my graph it's not that exact, but later on I'm gonna show it to you using Desmos.
All right, this is number 7. Okay, solving for y. We just solved this earlier by the opposite, parenthesis divide, okay, the strategy. Now, we found out earlier the answer by just comparing the slope, same slope with different y-intercept. Now, let's graph it using graphing calculator. So the first one was y equals letter A, okay? Even though we know the answer, y equals 3/4, 3 divided by 4, x minus 1 divided by 4. Okay, that's the first graph. The second graph is just copy this. Copy and paste it here. 3 over 4. But so if you notice the green and the purple or the blue, they're on the same line. So this is not the answer because the question is which system of equation has no solution? That's an absolute. They don't intersect. Well, this one is infinite solution. So that's not the answer. Okay. Let's start with letter B. Letter B, it's a 3/4 x minus 1/4. And they said that this is a negative, and this is plus 4. Okay, now this has intersection. Okay, so there's a solution. So this is not the answer. Letter C, 3/4 x minus 1/4. And then this is 5 over 6. 5 over 6 plus 1/3. 1/3. Same thing. This has solution. They do intersect. Okay. Now the last one, which is our answer, letter D, that's 3/4 x minus 4. And then this is, I'm just going to copy that. Copy, paste, and then change this to 1/2. There you go. So this is the graph that doesn't have a solution. So they don't intersect. Even you scroll it up and down, they don't intersect. So there's no intersection. This is like this is a parallel lines. Okay, good. Now, next question.
All right. Okay, let's do the last question that we use solving for y. Here we go. Question number 11 here. Go. What is the value of x in the solution to the system of equations shown below? Okay. Is it A, B, or C? So same thing. You're going to write the equation of a line and graph. Okay. So let's solve. The first one here, I'm going to write x plus y equals 2. I saw an equal sign. I'll put parentheses minus. I'm going to copy this x here, close parentheses. That's gone. I'll divide by 1. Even though there's nothing there, I don't need, I will still do it so that you know. And then this is also 1 because that's imaginary. So now that's my slope. So y equals negative 1x, 1 over 1x, and my y-intercept 2 over 1 or 2. Okay? You're going to graph this. Okay? Now, the next equation here is this. Okay? Is this. So 7x plus 4y equals negative 1. After that is you're going to put parentheses after equal sign and then subtract by 7x. Okay, that's gone. I'm going to divide this by 4. My slope is this, okay, and my y-intercept is this. So my equation is y equals negative 7 over 4x, 1/4. Now, if you graph this, okay, if you graph this, you will see the intersection. Okay. Again, I'm gonna show it to you
11, we
on
just
Desmos.
solved it earlier, so we're going to graph both. Okay, so y equals, we're going to graph y equals, we'll put first the green, equals, parentheses, negative 1 minus 7x, close parentheses, divide by 4. That's a graph in black, okay? Now, we're going to change this, uh, okay. Now, the other one is y equals, parentheses, 2 minus 1x divided by, what's that number? 2? 2 minus 1x divided by 1. Okay, here we go. So, the question is, what is the solution? Remember, the word solution is the intersection, the value of x, negative 3. Okay, that was our answer earlier. Okay, negative 3, letter B.